everyone, and welcome back. Today, as promised, I'm taking you on a half-day trip to Altun Ha, one of the most accessible Mayan ruins in Belize. If you don't have time for the full-day tour like Lamanai, this is a great second option. It's just an hour away from Belize City, so let's check this out. This is gonna be my final video from the Belize series. We purchased another tour on Viator. The ride to Altun Ha is very quick and easy. It's about 1 hour by car through small villages and countryside. There is really nothing exciting. But once you arrive, you do need to buy your entry ticket separately, as it was not included into the cost of the tour, which is worth noting if you're planning ahead. And that was specified in the tour description as well. So pay attention to those small details. There is a tiny parking lot right at the park. So if you're driving yourself, there may or may not be a place for you to park the car depending on the season. We were off season there, so there were plenty of parking. As you get in, you will pass quite a few vendors with souvenirs, as well as a small Altun Ha sign. So if you want to take pictures with the sign, here's your chance. And then if you want to look at the souvenirs, of course, this is the area for you to do that.
Today we are visiting Altun Ha. So we'll see how it compares to Lamanai, and we just arrived. It's about 9:30 in the morning.
The way our tour started, we spent some time in the museum, which I really didn't want to do, but our guide insisted on talking about the history and showing us all of the museum artifacts and things like that. Altun Ha was important for trading and ceremonial purposes for the Mayans, and it's famous as the discovery site of the largest carved jade head in the Mayan world. The jade piece is now preserved in Belize City, which is where it was found. But next step was we bought the tickets and we walked exactly into the archaeological site of Altun Ha. What you will notice right away is that Altun Ha feels very different from Lamanai. It is much smaller and it feels more commercialized. It is definitely set up for tourists in mind. The ruins themselves are still very impressive, but they're not surrounded by the jungles. There is not really a path through the jungles to each of the temples. We walked to the open area, and at that open field, you can see pretty much everything. You can see every temple that the site has and everything that it has to offer. There may be a few surprises that I'll show you in my video, but by and large, what you see is what's there, essentially.
So we just walked into Altun Ha, and this is the first look at it. It looks very different from Lamanai because you have kind of like temples surrounding you, but we'll check out more and maybe climb some. I really like that one.
It is very unlike Lamanai, where you truly need to walk to the next temple and explore the destination. Here, everything is just on the plate. You're still allowed to climb the ruins, and the guide really tried to share everything he knew about the site. And I got honestly a little bit overwhelmed by that, because this is not my travel style to be standing in one spot and listening to someone talking about the history and everything that I can just read on Google. My style is all about exploring the area, walking around, taking photos and videos rather than standing in one place and just listening. As I got overwhelmed, I stopped listening and I started just climbing on the temples because that was allowed. To each their own. Some of you may appreciate this a little bit more and know that you can get a historical insight into the ruins in addition to just seeing them.
Okay, I cannot see myself right now because the sun is so blinding, but I hope that you guys can see behind me. There is an amazing, wonderful temple, and we're going there next. Right now, I'm standing on the top of a one. So if you're going to Altun Ha and you're trying to get your decision straight, whether it's going to be Lamanai or Altun Ha, I say this one is closer. It still has things to do, but Lamanai is much bigger.
We did see another sun god carving and got insight into how to survive in the jungle, how to get water in the jungle. We were again lucky to be there off season with almost no one being on site, so we could spend as much time as we wanted on each temple, take all the videos we wanted and all of the pictures. The highest temple was truly tall, and that place has 2 staircases on each side, and you can get to the very top on each side. And from the top, you can see a great panoramic view of the site. So that's where you can pretty much see everything.
I'm going to the top of the next temple. I think it's the tallest temple here. So just got from those stairs and going all the way up there. And this is what it looks like there.
With that said, once you get on the highest temple, you will realize that that's it. That's pretty much all the site has. And there is not really a jungle to walk through or like ruins of the living areas like Lamanai has. And also in addition to that, some ruins were reconstructed, which is, I guess, what you have to do to make it preserved, but it felt like a little bit deceiving in that way. And the entire site is very, very compact. So you can walk across the entire area and see each temple in an hour or less, assuming there are no crowds, of course. But if you stop and listen to the guide, it may take up to 2 hours stretching the time and going to the museum and then touring the souvenirs, etc. Unlike Lamanai, which is deep in a jungle, Altun Ha feels way more open and curated, if you wish. It's clear that its site was made specifically for visitors, I would say for cruise ship visitors in mind. It's easy to get in and out of. It's very clean, very commercial. Still, ruins themselves hold a lot of history and beauty. So if you have no other alternative and you want to see at least some piece of Mayan history, this site is a great option. So if you're asking yourself, should I really visit this if I cannot get to Lamanai? The answer is absolutely. Altun Ha is a perfect half-day adventure alternative to Lamanai, and if you're short on time or if you want to get to your cruise earlier, it is very close and it gives you the thrill of climbing the Mayan temples. Still, if you want the full adventure in the jungles with monkeys around you, then Lamanai is the first choice for sure. Either way, Altun Ha is worth the stop, and it's another piece of Belize history. It's definitely much better than just touring around Belize City or streets of Belize City. So that was it, very short and sweet. Thank you for joining me on this tour to Altun Ha. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you want more any travels and adventure videos, it's coming next. See you in the next one. I will be reviewing Royal Caribbean Utopia of the Seas experience with the stops in Bahamas and 2 different tours that I've taken there.